first of all, my purpose here to welcome you all, and specifically Diana McCauley from the Jamaica Environmental Trust. I know we've been working a lot with you. I met you the first time as we were kicking things off. Opal haven't met, but I know representative from National Solid Waste Management Authority, who again we've been doing an awful lot with, and the judges, and the other environmental organizations, representatives from NGOs and the government. Joylene had asked me to talk a little bit about the things that we as an organization have been doing both in Jamaica and globally, and there is a long list to which, if she wants it to be a short talk, I'm going to shorten down this list, or at least try and keep it a bit short. It was really last year that we made made a decision specifically to make this year a focus as we kick off Scotia Green initiative. And it really comes out of the global bank. Scotiabank has for the past few years been very focused on green initiatives. I remember it was in the 1990s, I think, that we signed on to a UN accord that started this process of saying we would be aware of and be sensitive to environmental issues. And in the 90s it meant much less than it does today, but I even remember from then as we were doing credit applications, and to this day we have to comment and look at environmental risks and that. So it's something we have a long history at, but as with most global organizations, the focus has been increasing in recent years. And we designated for this fiscal year that $4 million that we would focus on green or environmental initiatives. And over the last 8 months, we've been doing an awful lot. As we kick off any initiative in the corporate social responsibility area, we always look at how our employees, our team members, can be involved. So there's been an issue of sensitization of them. We've involved in coastal cleanups that our volunteers have been involved in. We had last year's customer appreciation, had a Go Green focus, and our Christmas initiative was Going Green. As a bit of an aside, I know I have got a lot of heat from some of our customers that we did away with these big bulky desk calendars as Christmas gifts. It was a conscious decision, partly because as the world evolved, I know a heavy percentage of customers don't use paper diaries anymore, and it was a lot of money, and it was a lot of paper that wasn't being used. So we made a conscious decision in a number of things, but that got a lot of negative feedback. But when we told people that that money was instead going into green initiatives, 90% of the people said, "Oh, okay, well, we understand what you're doing, and we think it's a good thing." But we started doing our own things internally. As mentioned, we sponsored the National Solid Waste Management initiative with schools, the Clean Schools competition. We donated $1 million to Jamaica Environmental Trust for some of their initiatives. We sponsored Jamaica Environmental Action Awards, Best Environmental Friendly Community, and today we have these awards. Scotiabank globally, and this is where I've got a long list, and I'm going to try and really keep it short because my speech is going to go longer than everyone expected. But we were recognized last year by Maclean's magazine in Canada, which would be the leading sort of general magazine dealing with a lot of social issues, and Canadian Business Magazine to the Green 30, which was top 30 organizations in Canada whose employees felt that the organization was reflecting good environmental practices. And we've actually have 20 branches in the Toronto area that are designated green branches, and we've set up criteria of what that involved. Joylene's bound and determined that the 21st is going to be in Jamaica, and we're working towards that. And again, long list of projects that we've been sponsoring over the last couple of years, both in communication, to Canadians generally, to our employees, donations to specific organizations throughout the country that are working on very specific projects of, you know, restoring green spaces, planting trees, maintaining ecosystems, working with organizations, Tides Canada, which works on the west coast of Canada, Nature Conservancy of Canada, which is the largest land conservation and preservation organization. But it's something that's been picked up on. I've got lists of projects, Scotiabank Peru, which was a school education project. In El Salvador, there was a project that was focusing on promoting sustainable living and climate change remediation projects. Costa Rica, in addition to some education programs, actually took the main in San Jose. The main would be kind of like what's the big park in New York City? Central Park, like the big green area in town, and donated to trying to revitalize that and get more trees planted and maintaining that area. You know, it's Scotiabank co-chairs the North American Task Force of the UNEP Finance Initiative, and one of the things coming out of that we have adopted and is recognized as being very important is getting back to where I started, is that getting our team members, getting our staff involved is really what makes, on the corporate side, these projects sustainable. And the feedback I and we as an organization have gotten from our team members is really rewarding. And you know, it's amazing how our staff feel that we are doing the right thing at the right time. I mean, I've heard a lot of our staff say, gee, as a matter of fact, leading up to our launch, we were getting a lot of emails from staff saying, you know, as an organization, we need to be more focused on this. We don't see it happening in Jamaica. Why aren't we doing more recycling within the organization? Why aren't we focused more on energy conservation? And it's really by getting them, that team, involved in what we're doing, understanding as we let them know what we're doing in the community, and giving them as volunteers an opportunity to get involved in some of the projects both inside the bank and those that we're sponsoring outside, is what really gets the momentum within the organization of focusing on that. And that was something that came out of this North American Task Force as a best practice. We're going to continue working in that area. We want to, and I guess what Marcy's strategic sourcing is procurement, yes, but that's the buzzword these days. So when we look at throughout the Caribbean region, we coordinate procurement and large-scale purchasing. And it's one of the things that we want to start in this coming year looking at more, is how do we build that into our evaluation of the decisions we make on procurement across the region. And again, following our team members of how can we be doing more recycling, being seen as an organization internally as well, focusing more on environmental issues. So with all of that, getting back to the events of today, it is something that we're very proud of, and we feel good that we've been able to encourage all kinds of organizations to bring forward their projects, both as an opportunity for us, as an innovative way for us to then identify projects to be sponsoring, but also through that process and using our Facebook page as a unique way to just raise the awareness both of the winning projects, but then just in general of things that people are doing across Jamaica to try and make an impact on the environment. So we're very pleased and proud to be involved in this. I know a lot of work has gone in from a lot of organizations, and it's great that we have this opportunity to recognize those that have been judged as having the best impact on the environment. So thank you very much. And Joylene will forgive me for not actually giving you all of the details of every one of those projects, but it's in the formal version of the speech if anyone really wants to know. But thank you very much, and it's great to have you all here.